Hey everybody, this is Nate Ruvin coming to you from my studio in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and today I wanted to make a tribute video to the amazingly talented Jeff Foskett. Jeffrey was a remarkably kind and dedicated musician, so today I don't even want to read a script. I just want to talk from the heart about the amazing legacy of this great man. So Jeff is from San Jose, California, and he was born in 1956. His musical career began in the 70s. He played with bands such as Cherry and The Pranks. These bands played a very similar circuit to Papa Do Run Run, a local California surf band. Papa Do Run Run would go on to become the backing band for Jan and Dean for a few years, and a lot of members of that band would also play with the Beach Boys. So very early on in his musical career, Jeff was already in that surf rock Beach Boy scene. Jeff fell in love with the Beach Boys when he heard I Get Around, and his fandom just took off from there. So all Beach Boys fans know that the Wild Honey album cover features a stained glass window that's found in Brian Wilson's former house. Well, Jeff Foskett went through Brian's neighborhood and was able to find Brian's house based on that stained glass window, and that's how the two met during the 1970s. In 1979, Beach Boys lead singer Mike Love heard Jeff perform at a restaurant and asked Jeff if he would be interested in joining Mike's Endless Summer Band. The Endless Summer Band was a side project where Mike could play private events and charities and things of that like while the Beach Boys weren't officially on tour. That's how Jeff began his career performing and recording with members of the Beach Boys as well as the band itself. After performing exceptionally well with the Endless Summer Band, Jeff was invited to join the Beach Boys. During his initial tenure with the Beach Boys, he sang falsetto vocals and played both rhythm and lead guitar. Not only did Jeff perform on stage with the Beach Boys, but he also recorded in the studio with them, performing on numerous classics, including the #1 hit Kokomo, which Jeff provided acoustic guitar on. When Brian Wilson embarked on his solo career, he reached out to Jeff to be the musical director for his band, as well as Brian's personal assistant. They not only toured the world together, but they became very close friends. Jeff was almost always at Brian's side. During this time, Brian Wilson produced some of the most amazing music of his career, including the legendary Smile album, as well as That Lucky Old Sun, the Gershwin album, and the Disney album. Jeff played a crucial role in contributing to all of Brian Wilson's solo albums, but not only that, Jeff was also a great friend for Brian. Jeff once again joined the Beach Boys in 2012 for their highly acclaimed 50th anniversary tour. Jeff was not only one of the MCs, but he also sang his iconic falsetto vocals and provided both electric and acoustic guitars. The tour went over really well. Fans were ecstatic and critics were impressed. Another milestone was Jeff featuring on the Beach Boys' final studio album, That's Why God Made the Radio. The Beach Boys only had a couple weeks to record their vocals for that album, so they relied on Jeff to fill out the harmonies and provide that signature Beach Boys falsetto. So following the successful 50th anniversary tour, not too long after, Jeff joined the Beach Boys permanently once again in 2014. After rejoining the Beach Boys, Jeff contributed to Mike Love's solo album, Unleash the Love. This album took a lot of old songs and some new songs and put them together on a new collection, which reached 37 on the Billboard Independent chart. Jeff is all over Unleash the Love. His vocals provide a great consistency throughout the album. Not only did Jeff work with the Beach Boys for many years, but he also recorded or performed with America, Paul McCartney, the Everly Brothers, Christopher Cross, among many other legends. In 2019, Jeff had to leave the Beach Boys due to a cancer diagnosis. He fought like a soldier for many years during this time. He did lots of charitable work for MD Anderson where he was receiving treatment, including hosting a Beach Boys concert performed to raise money for the organization. During this time, Jeff was always publicly optimistic and always wanted to lift people up, whether it was through his humor or through his music. Despite no longer playing with the Beach Boys or Brian Wilson full-time due to his health concerns, Jeff managed to make occasional appearances with both bands, including performances with the Beach Boys in 2023. He was dedicated to the music and to making the fans happy. Whenever he talked with the fan, he acted like they were the only other person in the world that mattered. I was fortunate enough to talk to Jeff through social media a few years ago, and I could feel what a kind guy he was just through the communication that we had. He had a once-in-a-generation voice. He not only contributed to the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson albums, but he also had over a dozen albums in his own name. Jeff's solo music is remarkable. Of course, you hear that Beach Boy influence, but you also hear influence from other 60s acts as well as other genres. Jeff's final studio album was released in 2019, and it's called Voices. That album features Mike Love and Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys, as well as many other talented musicians. I know Jeff is now in heaven, rocking out with Carl and Dennis and Billy Hinchy, and he's up with the angels with that amazingly angelic voice that he's always had. Thank you so much. This has been Nate Ruvin. This subject was a little heavy to talk about, but I know that Jeff is in a better place, and I'm happy that he's not in pain anymore. And so I think we should all just continue to celebrate his legacy by listening to his music and being kind and humorous with each other like he always was. Thank you.